I heated up my husband's phone to see if I could read his WhatsApp messages, a crazy experiment. Hello, my dear friends, how are you? I hope you are well and in good health. Today I have a new and very important video with you, which is I heated up my husband's phone to see if I could read his WhatsApp messages, a crazy experiment. I hope you like it, but before watching, subscribe to the channel, like, and share so that the video reaches many viewers. Thank you. Now let's watch the video. It all began with a strange and slightly unhinged idea, one of those late-night thoughts that probably should have remained just that, a thought. But curiosity is a powerful force, especially when paired with suspicion and a bit of TikTok-fueled inspiration. I was lying in bed one evening, watching videos about smartphone hacks, when I stumbled upon a bizarre claim: heating a locked phone can sometimes trick the touch sensors into malfunctioning, or even cause the screen to respond automatically. It sounded ridiculous. But to someone suspicious and desperate to know what their spouse might be hiding, it was the perfect mix of crazy and hopeful. That night, I decided to test it out. The target? My husband's phone, and more specifically, his WhatsApp messages. The suspicion behind the experiment. Let me clarify something up front. I wasn't trying to ruin a marriage. I wasn't even sure there was something to uncover. But my husband had grown oddly secretive. He used to be the kind of guy who left his phone lying around, sometimes even asking me to reply to messages on his behalf. Lately, though, that behavior had changed. He was constantly on edge, guarding his phone like it contained the nuclear codes. Passwords were changed, Face ID reconfigured, and his phone never left his side, not even during bathroom breaks. When I asked him about it, he brushed it off, claiming he was dealing with sensitive work information. But something didn't sit right with me. That's when the idea hit: what if I could somehow bypass his phone lock without him knowing? I remembered the video, someone warming up a phone screen with a blow dryer, causing ghost touches that randomly opened apps. It sounded sketchy, but if there was even a tiny chance it might work, well, I had to try. The setup. I waited until my husband fell asleep, deeply asleep. He's a heavy sleeper, which gave me a generous window of time. I tiptoed to his bedside table and carefully took his phone, heart pounding. I had prepared in advance a hair dryer, a heat-safe cloth, and a small tripod to record the whole process, in case I needed to prove the method worked. The idea was simple: apply heat to the screen evenly and observe what happens. Maybe the screen would react. Maybe it would unlock. Maybe WhatsApp would open and give me a peek into whatever he was hiding. I placed the phone on a towel, set the hair dryer to medium heat, and began the process. The results, and some panic. At first, nothing happened. The phone remained locked, the screen untouched. But after about 30 seconds of gentle heat, something strange began to occur. The phone screen started flickering. A few ghost touches appeared, random taps near the middle of the screen. I froze, half terrified and half elated. It was actually responding. Then, out of nowhere, the screen swiped right, activating the camera. I let out a gasp. My hands were shaking. I adjusted the angle, hoping for more. Suddenly, the keypad appeared. Random digits started filling in. It was as if the phone was guessing its own password. And then, it locked completely. Too many wrong attempts had triggered a security delay. The phone now required a password and a wait time of several minutes. I quickly turned off the dryer, wiped down the screen, and placed the phone back before he noticed anything. My crazy hack had failed, at least partially. Unexpected consequences. The next morning, my husband mentioned that his phone had acted weird during the night. I played dumb. He shrugged and blamed a system glitch. But inside, I was spiraling. What if he checked the security logs? What if he found my hidden camera app? What if I had permanently damaged the phone? Fortunately, nothing came of it, or so I thought. A few days later, he installed a new app, one that monitors temperature and activity logs on his phone. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe he had his own suspicions now. But the biggest consequence wasn't his, it was mine. The realization. After my little science experiment, I found myself reflecting on what had driven me to that point. I had used a heat gun on a phone. I had recorded it. I had essentially tried to hack into my husband's digital life, all because of a few changed passwords and some paranoid feelings. I wasn't proud. It became clear that the real issue wasn't on his screen, it was in our communication. We had stopped talking honestly. Instead of confronting him with my feelings, I resorted to digital espionage. Instead of asking, "Is everything okay between us?" I tried to break into his phone using thermal energy. It was funny. And tragic. What I learned. Here are the lessons I took from this absurd episode. 1. TikTok hacks are not legal advice. Just because a hack works for someone online doesn't mean it will work for you, or that it's safe. Heating a phone can damage internal components, and may void warranties or even pose fire risks. 2. Ghost touch isn't reliable. Yes, heat can sometimes cause ghost touches due to screen sensitivity, but they're random and unpredictable. You're more likely to get the phone locked out completely than access sensitive information. 3. Suspicion doesn't justify invasion. Feeling insecure doesn't give anyone the right to violate someone's privacy. If trust is broken, no hack, heat or otherwise, will fix it. 4. Talk first, spy later. Actually, don't spy at all. The right approach is always communication. If you suspect something, ask. If you're unhappy, speak up. If things feel off, therapy might help. But spying rarely ends well. Epilogue. What happened next? Eventually, I came clean. Not the whole truth, I didn't mention the hair dryer, but I told him I had been feeling distant and mistrustful, and that I was tempted to check his phone. He admitted that work had been stressing him out and that he'd been intentionally withdrawing to cope. That conversation saved our relationship more than any spy tool could. We made a deal: more openness, more talking, fewer secrets. I deleted the recording, packed away the hair dryer, and promised myself I'd never resort to such extreme tactics again. Final thought. Spying, hacking, or experimenting with your partner's phone might give you a fleeting glimpse into their digital life. But it won't give you peace. If you feel the need to resort to tricks, especially ones involving heat, it's time to look inward, not outward. Because the truth isn't always on the screen. Sometimes, it's in the silence between you. And trust me, no WhatsApp message is worth burning down your relationship for. At the end of the video, I hope you liked it. Until we meet again in a new video.